time, your gateway to the world. AFR! American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is July 18, 2013. Hope you had a beautiful day in this scorching hot weather. It's so good to be here tonight and have you joining us here at Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Today is Thursday or Thorsday. And, right this second, we're missing Thor, but I'm sure you know how he is with his hammer. He just kind of shows up when you least expect it. But the topic we're going to be discussing is transhumanism. What is it? Cyborgs, artificial intelligence, the Lyran Luciferian reptiloids, and Atlantean soul baths, and all of that fun stuff. Who are the reptilian master geneticists? What are the origins of this tendency towards artificial immortality? What is transhumanism, and how will it affect you, or how can it affect you, rather? Tobias Lars is the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. He is a personal awakening coach, very well adept in soul retrieval, and I guess you can call it soul counseling. He is the creator of CourseOfAwakening.com. It is a series of videos, hardcore, action-packed, but sweet and gentle and loving, yet, you might see a little bit of Thor. It is videos at times. That's at CourseOfAwakening.com. You can also find snippets of some of these videos on his YouTube site. SpiritualTravelers.com is another project that he has created where you get to really go connect with nature, whether you're swimming with the dolphins in Hawaii or an Amazonian ayahuasca journey in South America, manatee adventures in Florida, Hopi land, camping with the wild horses, elephant adventures, all sorts of stuff. Oh, and definitely can't forget the woofie adventures in Zuni land. The website, again, is spiritualtravelers.com. And since he's not here right now, I'm going to wait for him to get here before we get into the topic. So in the meantime, I need to get better at this myself. I'm not really good at the whole self-promotion thing and asking for donations. I definitely don't want the show to turn into an infomercial or anything like that. But the truth is, we do need your support. We don't have any, sponsors or advertisers or things like that. We're here strictly just it's a labor of love, honestly. It feeds my soul, and the feedback I get, apparently you feel the same way too. So if you would like to donate to what we're doing here, you can just go to souljourneysradio.com, and on the top right, there's a little PayPal donate as well. There are other ways to support the show. We do have T-shirts. Haven't found a way to get them on the website yet, but it'll happen one of these days. However, it is posted on my herb site, which is another thing I need to remember and get over that fear, that block of self-promotion and give out more often. But that is mytrueessence.net. mytrueessence.net. I am a holistic health coach, and I create amazing, just wonderfully healing essential oil blends and products, creams, etc. So you can go look at it over there, as well as testimonials, lots of photos, everything from severe burns to poison ivy to gangrene. But for the T-shirts, you can just click on Healing Shop, and it's all the way down at the bottom. We have My True Essence and Soul Journeys radio t-shirts. One is 17 and two for 30. So there's a variety of ways you can support the show. You can also tell your friends, provided they're not going to like chop your head off or anything. I realize our show is not for everyone. We do tackle, we tend to trigger people here with a lot of the information that we share here. So, of course, use your discernment. Is this person ready or open to, self-responsibility? And are they okay with agreeing to disagree? Or are they going to lock you up and put you in a straitjacket? So, but anyway, so getting back to ways to support the show, share it with your friends, post on Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff. Of course, PayPal donations, or you could take advantage of my efforts over at mytrueessence.net, where the main goal there is to let other people know that you can heal yourself. You really can. You can be your own doctor, your own master, your own guru. And the simple premise, I guess, behind my philosophy is that Mother Nature is smarter than man. Period. God, Mother Nature, Source, whatever you want to call it, is smarter than man. And I know that he, she, it, whatever, however you want to refer to it, is definitely a little bit, at least, if we could admit that, a little bit smarter than us. Thank God, because, man, that would be a hard job, huh? Trying to make everything work. I mean, shoot, we can't figure anything out here. Unless we read it in a report that somebody else told us, hey, believe this. Science says this. Case closed. Boom. Shut the door. Anyway, so we're trying to kind of free ourselves from these prisons, these paradigms here. So, anyways, getting back to the whole Mother Nature's smarter than man, you can heal yourself thing, I also realize that that's not a path for everyone. And you know what? That's okay. It is okay. I personally needed 35 years of illness and feeling totally hopeless and lost and feeling sorry for myself. And, but at the same time, as miserable as I was, it really took me all those years to find out that I had the power within me. And the spark that ignited that was literally just one person. One person told me that I could heal. And I'm just like, what? That's crazy. But for some reason, I knew there had to be at least some kind of truth in it, because I had done everything else. I did the drugs, I did the surgery, I did the specialists, I did 15 surgeries at least. And all I did was get worse and worse and worse and get more drugs from the doctors. Of course, they weren't really considered drugs. If you're getting it from a doctor, it's called medicine, right? That's how we trick ourselves into thinking that it's okay. But a drug is a drug is a drug, no matter what you call it. My personal opinion on that matter is drugs are man-made. Drugs are man-made. It's something where we try to take out, isolate, make better some type of compound in a naturally occurring plant, herb, whatever it is that grows free in nature. I do not believe plants are drugs. I believe we can turn them into drugs, but I don't believe in their natural state that they're as harmful as mainstream medicine would like us to believe. And of course, I am just one little teeny tiny piece of living proof that Mother Nature is smarter than man, and we can heal ourselves. So I understand the blocks, I understand the fears, and you know what? I understand the payoffs. In fact, I'm not sure if we discussed this over the air last night or if it was during the break, but I actually have clients that have told me, or even people that ask for my help, and what should I do about this cyst, or what should I do about that? And, when I go and tell them, they're like, oh, man, well, I can't stop going to the doctor or taking their drugs because then I'm not going to get my paycheck anymore. So I know we kind of brought up on the air that there are payoffs in choosing where we are at any given time, and whether we're able to actually recognize and see that at the time or not is of no relevance. It is definitely happening. In fact, what's really amazing about it is, we keep wanting to put all of these things outside ourselves. Not only are we Mother Nature with the source inside of us, okay, inside of us, as long as we're looking for something outside of us to fix us, to heal us, to evolve us, to elevate us, to transform us, to turn us into masters, gurus, teachers, etc., guess what, kiddos? You are never going to find it. Why? Because it's not outside of you. It's been inside of you all along. So whether we recognize that we are actual masters, teachers, healers, doctors, gurus, whatever you want to call it, in training, and we are already creating our reality. I mean, how cool is that to look back? Who here can actually look back at their life honestly and not realize how they had consciously or maybe even unconsciously chosen it? And maybe it's on a deeper soul level that we are not able to recognize yet. But to me, it was like the most empowering thing I had ever discovered. And I'm not going to lie. First time I heard that, radical idea, I'm like, oh my God, you think that it's my fault that all these horrible things happen to me? I mean, don't you know I'm so special? My disease is so special. Everything about me is so special. I'm the only one. Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh here, but I really don't think so, because I'm speaking from my own personal experience. So yeah, I understand the first time you hear that or take that pill, as in Neo in the Matrix, you know what? They barf, they got scared, they're like, ah! You mean I've been in charge all along? Holy smokes, now what? Now what? That means you have no one to blame. That means you are now empowered to change whatever it is you think you don't like to whatever it is you think you do like. And I don't want to make life sound like it's all supposed to be rosy and happy and, happy, yeah, okay, but, rose-colored glasses and there's never any pain or trauma or abuse or, whatever. That's absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, we have feelings. We experience pain, grief, regret, sorrow, hatred, anger, all of these things. They're natural feelings. However, you are not your feelings. You are much more than your feelings. You do need to feel them rather than repress them, suppress them. If you want to heal, yes, but we are so much more than these feelings, and we do not have to be trapped or stuck in these little boxes that we or society would choose to put us in. So anyways, hopefully I'm not coming off, too scary, not really trying to trigger anyone or scare anyone away. But yeah, you are the artist. You have the paintbrush in your hand. You can, do anything that you want. And I know it sounds cliche, but when we do start taking responsibility for whatever is going on in our life and see how we may be energetically bringing it towards us. For example, I'll use myself as an example. You may have heard, that which I feared has come upon me. Okay, well, it's more than just, a saying that sounds good. There have been many things that I have brought on in my life. And, I've talked about this before in another show, and they're like, oh, Christie, it's not your fault. You can't blame yourself. And what they did was wrong. Okay, yeah. I agree with that. But, in my waking up process, I was listening to all the fear mongering, peddling, doom and gloom. The world's going to end. Everybody's out to get you, pick an agency. Obviously, as a single mother, the one that I feared worse or feared the most was CPS or DCFS, or I don't know. I think it's different names, or maybe they're changing it. Who knows? But the ones that are supposed to be protecting our children and keeping our families together. I feared them so much that I actually brought them into my life, albeit energetically. It wasn't something I did physically. It wasn't something, that I walked up to their office and said, screw you, you suck, or whatever. But energetically, those fears were there. And that's just one example in my life that, I had feared things. Another one, when I was in that fear paradigm and stocking up on food storage because, I was going to have enough food to last 30 years while the rest of you starve because the world's going to end. And, of course, the thought never crossed my mind that if the world ends, that those 30 years of food aren't going to do a darn thing. So I bought all that within the fear vibration and held on to it, hoarded it in fear, wouldn't even touch it. That's the thing, of course, until I needed it, like when I was in a wheelchair trying to raise 2 children. But, I actually brought circumstances into my life.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com, the Bermuda Triangle of radio. We have no idea what's going on or how, but we're getting it done anyways. And we are joined by our special, very special, and lovely guest, Tobias Lars, St. Toby, one Kenobi, and I guess we can kind of get back on topic, although I think some of the things I brought up were perhaps relevant as far as artificial intelligence and transhumanism and all of that good stuff we want to talk about here tonight. And Tobias, again, his website is soulcounseling.com. And if you have any questions or comments tonight, please feel free to give us a call at 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. And if you'd like to join us on the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. And here I am rolling out the red carpet, introducing Toby. Welcome.
Unmute.
How you doing?
I'm blaming it on the Swiss chocolate that put me over the top.
Everyone's asking on the chat, well, why is he late? Why is Tobias late? And somebody guessed, I predict he was napping.
Very good. A deep chocolate-induced nap. Anyway, yeah, I'm guilty as charged. It's really good chocolate, though. It's like, Swiss milk chocolate with hazelnuts. And I'll share it. Ready? Everybody just feel it. Here we go.
Yes, I'm opening up.
Okay, I'll eat some more just for you guys.
Yum, real chocolate.
Apparently I went off somewhere, disappeared. But I'm back, sort of. I'm here. Okay, shall we just shorten the whole thing? Transhumanism, bad. Organic, good. Okay, we're done.
Oh, goodness. All right, so you done with your chocolate, damn it. We got a show to do.
Okay, well, I just did it. I said transhumanism, bad. Don't do it.
Show's over. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
I know, we can embellish on it, of course, like the church has for, thousands of years? We can embellish on it for about an hour and a half.
Sure, why not? Let's.
Transhumanism. No, but yeah. So, shall we talk about it or chocolate?
Absolutely. Well, chocolate rocks. Screw it. Show's over. We forget the transhumanism. Somebody else is talking about it. Anyways, let's just talk about chocolate.
Just picture Frankenstein's monster. Transhumanism bad. Must have chocolate.
Well, you know what? Since we're speaking about chocolate, I'll just give you a super quick and easy recipe that anyone can make. It's vegan and delicious and organic and yummy. My favorite chocolate recipe. You want to melt the cacao in your, hopefully a double boiler. If you don't have one, you can work it out. One pan that's bigger than the other one, and put a little water bath in the bottom one. Melt the cacao. And you can add some coconut oil and maybe honey. After you have that melted, then you are going to add some, hopefully, organic peanut butter. Add as much as you want. Then you can add some delicious coconut, hopefully unsulfured organic coconut. You can use the shredded or the pieces, or even use both. I like to use both because I like the texture. I also use not almonds. I like cashews, and I prefer to soak them and then roast them first. And the reason I soak them and roast them is to remove the phytic acid, which will actually leach minerals in your system. It's pretty much in all beans and nuts. So although I like raw nuts, it's probably, nuts. That's all he hears. Nuts are probably, they're delicious, but they actually can bond with the magnesium, the calcium, the vitamin D, whatever, even in your stomach and intestines, and pull it right out, just like calcium bentonite clay or something. So anyways, I soak the nuts overnight. And then I put them in the, little toaster or the oven or roaster, depending on how much you're making. Throw the nuts in, and then some ground up flax seeds, and mix it all up, and then just drop it in spoonfuls on top of some wax paper and enjoy. You can eat it like me when it's soft and still melted and dripping all over the place. Lick it and super good. Or if you're in a hurry, you can just stick them in the fridge and whatever. But there you go. Super easy, organic, delicious chocolate recipe. All right, now can we get to transhumanism?
Poor little cacaos.
I love little cacaos. They taste delicious.
You non-sacred cacao worshiper, you.
I know. If I was in India, they would burn me.
Oh, it was cacao, not a cow. Cacao. Yeah. What? 2 cows? Do double. No, cacao. Never mind.
Oh, you know what? I am so sorry. I think I left something out because I'm looking on the chat and somebody was posting something about carob and almond milk, and I realized when I told you about the coconut oil, melting the cacao and then adding a sweetener like local honey or something, you can use, fresh almond milk, or I like cashew cream because it's really creamy and delicious. So, yeah, I think that's what I get for not reading recipes. Actually, I never even write them down. So,
you ever notice that people that cook that know what they're doing, they're like, I don't know. We just put enough in there. That's all. I just put enough.
Yeah, I've been trying, like on Facebook when I started posting stuff. They're like, Christy, what's the recipe? It's like, a little of this, a little of that, and I think there's some of that over there. Well, how much? Well, whatever feels good. So that's the recipes that I do put up. That's how they are. So anyways, we do our best.
Watch this. So transhumanism.
I'm watching.
Recipe for disaster or not? Yes, it's up to you. So yeah, that's the recipe for human beings coming up. Transhumanism on the planet. And what is it? I mean, we hear about it. I know I'm trying to actually get on the topic. It's working, sort of. Here we go.
We're going to do it.
Good, yeah. But so this is an ancient influence from our galaxy. It's not the first time here on Earth, as we quote, solve or crack the human genome, the code, the genetic code, and we start getting interested in mixing it with each other, i.e. Frankenfood. It's sort of like, do you like genetically modified foods?
Not at all.
Well, how do you think you're going to enjoy genetically modified humans?
Not at all.
Yeah. So that, and not just genetically, the impulse of it is transhumanism, meaning beyond human or through the human. We're getting through it. We're moving on. Postmodern humans, post-human, the post-human world, the posthumous world, the posthumous world. Exactly. Meaning after death. Correct. The posthumous world. That's where it's headed, really, literally. If we go down this path. And since time goes in cycles, time is all right now. It's all happening right now. It really is more of a matter of placement. You know, time travel is more of a matter of instant displacement into another point space coordinate in the space-time continuum. That moves you in time. And, so there's a dimension actually where as you move in space, you're moving in time. Here we move in time, sort of. Anyway, they're both connected, and there's time is not real. It is created by humans, by source, by us, in our enlightened awake state. So this idea of moving outside of the naturally created order, you could call transhumanism. So there's a whole thing coming up now. They'll have, conferences and so forth. The promise of us being stronger than Mother Nature made us, than the organic timeline, if you will, the natural timeline, the natural creation from Source, God, Father, Mother, God, whatever you believe in, or just a higher intelligence, or that which nature creates. We have this idea, this original seed idea, you could say, was back in the Lyran constellation, L-Y-R-A, Lyra. It's almost like the word lyre, isn't it? Like as in the old instruments, the playing of the chords of those strings of the choruses, the orchestra of heaven, the beginning of infusing a human type intelligence, or we should say more like a individual being type intelligence into our galaxy. There's many sources that say that first occurred in the constellation of Lyra, L-Y-R-A. And also, at that time, as things began, there is an influence away from the natural allowing of the polarity of the male-female, of the natural allowing of the creation. There's an influence that wants to do it its way, that wants to set up a better reality, a better world, a better galaxy, a better Godhead, a better system. And you can call this the Luciferian rebellion. These are, you got to have good names to have a good story. You could call it the individual human ego, in a sense that says, I know better than my body. I can smoke for 40 years and, or whatever, I can masturbate 22 times a day and it won't affect me. No, it's just a shocking example, I know, just for fun. But anyway, we think we know better, so the human ego thinks, oh, I can do that. I can stay up for 4 days straight doing speed. It's fine. But the body doesn't do very well with stuff like that. Any excess, there's sort of a happy medium. There's sort of a median line to follow, the middle path, a la Buddha, perhaps, that naturally feels good, feels balanced, feels connected, and no matter where you are on the layers of creation, it is sort of the right next step, the right movement for you. You can push yourself some. But so this influence of setting up a outside the natural timeline started way back as we measure time, billions of years. But again, time is made up. So Luciferian rebellion, the mechanistic, let's do better than the natural galactic winds or intelligences from the center of the galaxy or the center of the universe that decides how to coalesce stars, how to make suns, and suns then give birth to planets. There's a natural order that does that, and then there's something that says, oh, we can do a better job. Let's make our own planets. Let's terraform planets, for instance. We know better than nature. All you got to do is fly over the Midwest right now and look down on all the square cornfields and go, we're trying to terraform Earth, and we think we know better than nature.
Yeah.
And when we think we know better than the natural order of things, certain things get put into motion. So this is we know better than what our kidneys do, what our heart does. Let's make an artificial heart. Let's make an artificial brain. Let's make AI, artificial intelligence. Let's create robots. Let's create mixtures. Let's take the genetics from here and the silicon chips and the etheric energies almost from these new materials and nanotechnology, and let's create a better human being than what Mother God, Father God, or nature, or the natural evolving galactic timelines have come up with. So this is the influence. There's an influence away from the natural evolution source God into we know better. And we're free to explore in the free will universe. So this has happened many times before. It's happening now concurrently, way back in Lyra, the first influences of, you could say, Lucifer and those that said, yeah, hell yeah, we can make we can make a lot better creation than this prudish God, this slow-moving God and our parents.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out. The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back, and thanks for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with Tobias Lars. SoulCounseling.com is the website. I think we left off sharing some delicious chocolate recipes, huh? Oh, no. I'm a Lyra. We're
Sacred cacaos.
We were Lyra. Okay.
Liar.
Yes, pants on fire.
Uh-oh. Let me check. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My turn. Yeah.
It was just a fart. Yeah, it's your turn.
This is what chocolate does to you. It's crazy. It's all.
Does
good.
it make you fart?
No.
Oh. Well, that's no fun. You should eat things that make you fart more often.
Only if I get really, I don't know what makes me fart. Maybe annoying people. I don't know. Something like that. All constipated. All right. Back to the subject.
Yes. Back to Lyra.
At hand. No, so this is a place we as souls are free to explore this creating fake or artificial intelligence, synthetic. How's that? Without judging it. Fake sounds so judgmental. It's not something I'm interested in, the cyborg world, the plastic heart, the fake download your personality and memories into some kind of fine electromagnetic material. It's a material we can't even think of today. It's not silica specifically, but the silicon chips are on the way there. It's a finer material even, probably exists already in our secret programs of hypercomputers that are really sort of living material. Feel that. Many abductees of UFO stuff, they will sometimes report that the walls themselves are alive of the ship. The wall is made out of some kind of light, and it is conscious. So it becomes a place where we start designing synthetic life forms. And the impetus to do this is to survive immortally. Now there's natural immortality. It's been coming up big time this week. The whole immortality thing everywhere. I started talking about it. Careful what you start feeling and thinking about lately. And then all of a sudden everybody's sending me all this stuff on immortality. I was remembering a group that used to be in Phoenix that would talk about being immortal. And see, it's true. We know we are immortal. Our souls are immortal. Like I heard somebody say the other day, you always wake up somewhere. You always wake up somewhere. So if you, quote, die here, all of a sudden you're like, oh, no, I'm awake here now. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you're trying to put yourself out of your misery, it doesn't really work. You always wake up somewhere. So the only solution is really, for me, is to allow the natural timeline. The natural creation is really beautifully done. But this synthetic life, so it's done originally, you could say, way back when we first emerged, the Luciferian rebellion, the synthetic. That set up a separate godhead, a separate artificial types of life forms. And it continues again on Mars and in many different planets across the galaxy. But in our solar system history, Mars plays with machinery and artificial mechanical things as well. Excuse me, until they turn that mechanistic protection system they've put around the planet in Mars. Many Mars souls are here on Earth at this time. If I got this right, 25 hours is the natural spinning cycle, the natural day cycle on Mars. So a lot of people that drift in your sleep, meaning if you just do your natural sleep cycle, you wake up later and later every morning. Some of you might have some Mars influence in your past. Yeah. But so the system on Mars, see, spiritual gossip is fun. Actually, history is fun. Real history is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what happened on Mars about 5 million years ago, now some people will say, no, it was only 100,000 years ago when Atlantis was here on Earth. Yes, except there was a Stargate time portal travel. So what I sense it's more like about 5 million years in our time. But again, time is flexible and fluid and malleable. And as we're all noticing, time speeds up and slows down and so forth. And I'll adjust my clock and I won't nap past 5 o'clock. Chocolate, I'm blaming it on the damn cacao.
Yeah, blame the cacao, the holy cacao, sacred cacao.
Cacao. So on Mars, notice how we slip in some humor there too, so the medicine goes in better into your energy body. Oh no, I can't believe you said that, Tobias. You're revealing your own methodology. You shouldn't be doing that. So anyway, back to Mars. There we were on Mars 5 million years ago, and we had developed a beautiful Star Wars system. A system of satellites, if you will, but much fancier than the stuff we're able to do yet on Earth, that protected the planet, because we feel we need protection from some marauding Han Solos of the universe, or Jabba the Hutts. How's that? See, Star Wars is always a good reference.
Yeah, Hans is always welcome on my planet.
Uh-oh. No, you end up with Harrison Ford. Ha ha!
He's hot. Why is that funny?
Come on. Grumpy old man Harrison Ford, are you serious?
He's great. Oh my God. I love his smile lines, his cute little crinkle. Dude, he's hot.
All right, cool. We're sending 100, not Han Solo now, but Harrison Ford. There you go. Okay.
Woohoo! Oh wait, I gotta go now. I'm busy.
We just solved a big problem on Earth. We're going to replicate through transhumanism and synthetic genetic cloning. We're going to take, okay, Harrison Ford, you asked for it, women.
And George Clooney.
Or woman, George Clooney. Okay. We're going to replicate those guys into synthetic cyborgs, and they will all be delivered to your door. Happy now? You happy now? See?
It'll be fun for a couple minutes.
It's a couple of minutes. Okay.
If they're real good.
See, guys, we're right. It's the woman's fault. It's the woman who has created this mess.
Yeah.
Lilith, Eve. It's through her wanton, lustful desire that she has allowed this horrible transhumanistic synthetic life forms. Evidenced right here by Christie being willing to sell her soul for a George Clooney doll. There you go. Unbelievable.
Yes. Women created plastic men. Absolutely.
Again.
Definitely.
Proven again. It's definitely the woman's fault. See.
Pretty much everything on the planet is women's fault.
No, I was joking with somebody.
No, I agree.
You do?
Okay, you were joking with somebody today.
Yeah, about the battle of the sexes. We keep battling about whose fault it is, you know. We always want to project whose fault it is, and then you know, for the last remembered, you know, whatever history, his story, of course, right? It's stupid man that's created all the problems on Earth. Who invented the nuclear weapon? Certainly not a woman. Who goes on, right? Who invented the horrible things on planet Earth? Well, Madame Curie was actually part of that. It wasn't she? Okay. Never mind. So, and then I would love to say, so then the woman says, the feminine, the female, feel this. This is, again, we're just playing the male versus the female. This blame game, the battle of the sexes, is the ultimate divided and conquered game that gets us locked up in war. So the woman will go, yup, stupid man. Lots of the commercials lately will be, here's the smart woman wife running her family, and here's my 3 kids. Oh, yeah, and my 4th kid, my idiot husband over here. Right?
Send him off to war, man.
Yeah. Can you do something? Can I order out my plastic Clooney doll and just send my husband off to work, or preferably to war, so I don't have to see him?
I think you're right, Tobias. I think you're right. Women, feminine, definitely created all of the war machines on purpose just to get rid of you freaking losers, man. Get out of our hair. And go kill each other. Have fun. We're going to hang out here in the garden naked.
So as you can see, alone with our giant vibrating thing.
Cucumbers.
Yes, there you go. Growing very interesting fruits, correct. So here we go. Again, demonstrated amply, beautifully by Christie as representing all you girls. I'm just stirring the pot here. It's always kind of fun. No, Lucifer is now going, keep it going, come on, more. Men fall. Whisper in the woman's ear, see, the guy's an idiot, he's stupid, he's insensitive, he can't feel anything, he's a moron. Yes, that's correct, he is, he's just an insensitive bump poop on a log. It's a burping fertile lounger. That stupid man. Right? How many thousands of hours of, my boyfriend, my husband, my boyfriend, my relationship. We should actually have like a third of the whole House of Representatives. In order to be correctly represented in our country, a third of the seats in the House of Representatives need to be called the relationship.
I wonder how many people tuned in late that have no idea we're being sarcastic.
No, that's all right. What do you represent? All the talk and energy that the collective puts into, well, mostly women, we agree, into the relationship. Oh, my God. So, all right, I'm having fun.
Well, I did get an excellent comment in the chat. They said we only want your sperm.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it.
So, all right.
Go kill all the rest of them. We don't need very much sperm.
Again, I see Lucifer growing by leaps and bounds. He's like gaining massively by that sentiment by you women.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules, no rules. No taboo topics, no taboo topics. No fear of doom, no fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Top of the second hour here tonight with Tobias Lars here on Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call tonight at 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. And if you'd like to join us in the text chat, that's actually don't. We're having way too much fun, and we might pervert a few minds out there. But just in case you're okay with demented little angels, we are over at souljourneysradio.com. And that break came in so quick. I have no idea where we got cut off. We were having too much fun laughing. I don't know if it was the sperm joke or I don't know. Then, the proposition came up. GMO vegetables could be good if they... I'm thinking we need to start petitioning Monsanto for GMO vibrating cucumbers. I would support GMO if we could grow them in our garden.
Nice. Disposable men is where you to and then she said during the break, she said, I can only use them once, and then they start to wilt. Help me understand.
I was talking about cucumbers, man.
What goes on with Christie's relationships? Yeah,
that's right.
So I understand.
I can be demanding.
The battle.
Yeah.
Demanding, huh? Demanding.
I love the D.
Demand. Never mind.
No, that was for Louie and Casey.
We're talking about transhumanism.
Yes.
We're talking about transhumanism and how women would like to get rid of organic and beautiful and heartful and sensitive and loving men who care about the feminine, who actually want to have committed love relationships with the feminine heart and how the woman has absolutely strayed and gone outside the true love of the organic timeline, and the woman is actually on the sneak, on the side, on the sly, sneaked around, had affairs with Lucifer himself. And this is the whole problem with the whole current situation of which the earth is a simple holographic small reflection. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Yep, bring it on. If we could just grow the vibrating cucumbers in the garden, I'm all for it.
All right. So instead of doing the blame game, folks, since we're trying to illustrate this, but it's so damn serious, it's so hard to do, that we blame each other. It's the woman's fault. It's the man's fault. It's the woman's fault. It's the man's fault. And as long as we're blaming each other, we end up with this battle of the sexes. How many of us now, I'm seeing it represented everywhere, because I stick my little, vibrating face out there on YouTube. I get some feedback now and then, and there's a huge hunger for love, of course, for sex, for that we all want this, and it's the natural organic connection with a life force that truly satisfies. And we've got to go back through the original stargates of where we made these mistakes, fear choices of trying to make an artificial world. The little gray guys, those little gray aliens, the big-eyed, bug-eyed dudes, the little grays, that 20 years ago started showing up in my bedroom after I started reading a book about them. And I said, what is this? These guys feel creepy. It's like, and they are an aspect of, from this time, and I've said this several times before, when we do genetic cloning, the human genome, we start literally cloning bodies. Of course it's going on. If they can clone sheep, they're cloning humans.
Yes.
Of course. It's happening right now. And the whole, it's going to be very seductive with, you can choose your baby. Oh, we can make sure we'll do a gene scan for $25,000 to determine if there's any bad genes in your baby. We'll just take a little sample of the amniotic fluid, blah, blah, blah. And for $25,000, we do a complete genetic scan. You want to make sure your baby has the best chance at life, don't you, Mr. and Mrs. Citizen? Of course you do. So it's going to come down the pike with being able to choose better health is how it's going to be introduced. And we did this in other parts of the planet, like we were talking about Mars. Mars turned on itself. These big, everything has a balance. The yin and yang is as close as it gets. The most powerful, smartest teacher on the planet ever was Lao Tzu. If you read, just Google Lao Tzu quotes. Read some of those quotes. And the essence of his power is so strong 3,000 years later that it's still reverberating through time-space, Yes. And we couldn't start a religion around Lao Tzu. Confucius, yes, because anytime there's thou shalt not, thou shalt not, then we can immediately start a religion to oppress each other with it. But when someone speaks beautiful truth in the middle path, speaks it poetically, you can't really make a religion out of that. So Taoism has never been able to be made into a religion, Yeah. And then there's, But so anyhow, that balanced path, instead of too much yin, meaning Christie wants to order George Clooney, Brad Pitt, whoever else, Harrison Ford, cucumber dolls to show up at her door. Or, men want to order their beautiful plastic. By the way, there are like $10,000 plastic dolls available now, of course. Great movie called Lars. My name. Lars and the Real Girl. Lars and the Real Girl with, what's that actor? I kind of like him. He's a good real actor, chameleon.
George.
Forget his. No, George.
Harrison Ford.
Oh, please, grow up.
Lao Tzu.
Okay, no, okay.
You know what, Tobias? When you said that, actually, I grabbed my Lao Tzu book that I got from my grandmother. It was 35 cents when she bought it. This is, let's see, copyright was dated 1955.
Oh, let's feel your grandma for a minute. Let's feel her for a second. So feel how sweet our grandmas are. Everybody, feel this. Feel how sweet not everybody, but somebody in your life, a mentor, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, older brother, sister, somebody, your mom, your dad, that they loved you and they reached beyond all the human programming and they were sharing soul to soul with you. We've all had somebody like that. Feel a moment right now. Just tell them you love them.
I love you, Mimi. My yaya.
Thanks you for being there with me and for me. I love you. So your grandma back in 1950-something bought that book.
35 cents. Price is printed right on it. It was before they had stickers.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And what'd you open up to?
I opened up to number 52. Would you like me to read it?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I'm blowing my nose there.
Okay. All right. So I opened up to this beautiful 35-cent piece of wisdom from my yaya, Aphrodite. And it said, this is number 52. It began with a matrix. The world had a mother whose sons can be known as ever by her. But if you know them, you'll keep close to her as long as you live and suffer no harm. Stop up your senses, close up your doors. Be not exhausted as long as you live. Open your senses, be busier still to the end of your days. There's no help for you. You are bright, it is said. If you see what is small, a store of small strengths makes you strong. By the use of its light, make your eyes again bright from evil to lead you away. This is called practicing constancy.
Wow. See, it's poetic. You could read that 100 times and you would get more and more out of it. The ancient Sanskrit, and in this case, the Taoists, knew how to impregnate a few words so that they could literally be unfolded. Sutras would usually be 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and you would read them and just sit and feel them, and then something would unfold from just those few words. That is how you condense wisdom into... Feel the magic of that right now, you guys. The magic of symbolism and words. Words are a construct. They're just little characters on a page. Little actual symbols. Isn't magic about symbols and sigils? Spelling.
Definitely.
Spelling. Spells. Spelling. Spells. And they can be used for, quote, trapping people or setting them free. Feel the magic that is put into Lao Tzu's words. He's talking about the mother of all things. We were just blaming her for the creation of all the bad things. I mean, blaming Christie. The evil daughters of the mother. Yes, that's
Everybody's doing it. Seriously, feel free, blame me. It's all good. And you'll get away with it. And escape yourself.
No, we're not going to let you take that onto yourself. No.
Aw, bummer.
No. We're not going to let you have that much fun. No way.
Shoot. All right. Time's running out for me then.
So mother has, but it's not all father's fault or mother's fault. So this trans-humanism trying to set up, it is difficult. All of you who have been having relationships this lifetime, has there been just an iota, just a tiny little bit of pain involved with those, perhaps? No. Right? So having a relationship between father and mother, female and male principle, is a difficult thing. So can we, for a moment, here's real magic. We're going to do real magic right now. See, when you embrace something, when you allow it, when you forgive it, you erase it. Yes. When you embrace it, you can erase it if that's your intention. Because water, right now we had a huge rain just started. I'm looking out the window in Sedona. Huge rain just started. By the way, can we go over time today or no? We should do the after. We should do the after party on our show. We should have it like, go over here and we'll keep going.
Yeah, we can figure out a way to do that. Why not?
Yeah. So I'm just watching the rain come down. Rain naturally cleanses everything, right? So there is a natural, when we will accept, feel right here how difficult it is for men and women to have relationship. Look at your own life, your own relationships. Have they been easy all the time? Or have they been mixed with lust and love and then pain and hurt and betrayal? So can you not appreciate the original mother and father? The big mommy and daddy, the big female and male principle, the yin and the yang. And they're also real gods, real personalities too. So you can have it the way you want. You want it scientific or you want it, with personality. It's up to you. Can you feel that they sort of said, back off, I'm done with you, I don't want to deal with you anymore. You are very difficult to deal with. And can you see why the father might go, that's it. I just want people to follow my exact orders. I don't want any talk back from the bitch.
I've never heard that before.
And how the bitch, or in this case the mother, would say, I don't want any idiotic, cold-hearted, myopic, scientific, unfeeling, stupid man telling me what to do.
That's right.
Right?
Take that.
So can you feel that original mommy and daddy? Just feel this, you guys. Can you have a little compassion for original mommy and daddy? See, they were just coming into creation. They had no history. We got, how many books do we have on relationships? We got thousands of books. We got thousands of teachings and relationship experts. They had nothing. They had bupkas, nidya, nada, nothing. It's kind of like teenagers. Imagine if you put two teenagers, I've used this example before, raised them in separate rooms in a house, and then one day after puberty, you just throw them together in a room.
All right.
In the
Sounds
dark.
fun.
In the dark. They haven't learned to talk. They don't know about any other beings and what they're like. Would they have some issues with each other and some fear, perhaps? Yes. So original mommy and daddy had some fear. So can we forgive right now, instead of being kids always blaming mommy and daddy? I hate you, God. You suck. That's, that's in most humans. And then we go, I'll go with a goddess because I hate daddy God. And then it turns out 500 lifetimes later, well, now I hate mommy God. F her and let's go back to daddy God. So that's exactly the children of divorce. We are the children of divorce. Cosmic, celestial, universal divorce. But if we can forgive mommy and daddy a little bit, instead of constantly railing at them, you suck as parents, can't we understand that they had, they're just meeting for the first time. Electric and magnetic. Electromagnetism is getting created. Electric doesn't understand magnetism, and magnetism doesn't understand electro. But they're hopelessly attracted to each other because together they create this massive spark, this massive creation, this massive birth of the universe. And so we are playing out that exact blueprint with each other. So feel it now if you would. Do you want to save the planet? Do you want to get rid of GMO? Do you want to make sure the planet survives? Do you want love? Do you want to have a shot at enjoying your body? Do you want to heal yourself? Then do what I'm asking you to do. Forgive your original mommy and daddy. Say, thank you, mom and dad. I apologize. I repent. I ho'oponopono. I am sorry that I've been blaming you guys for all the ills in the universe. I would like now to work it out. I don't want to do the trans-humanism anymore. I don't want to reject my emotions. I don't want to reject my body and create a cyborg body, super soldier, cyborg, cybernetic, synthetic bodies. And I don't want to reject my feelings and become those little gray guys that are literally hatched in vats, cloned in vats. I like the organic timeline. I like hummingbirds. I love the rain that I'm watching fall on the plum tree right now. I do like my body.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American
It's practically narcotic.
freedom
Oh, yes, I like very much.
radio.
They're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
Thanks for joining us here tonight with Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com. Tobias Lars is a personal awakening coach and the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. His website is Soul Counseling, and that'll link to all the other good stuff I talked to you about in the beginning of the show, courseofawakening.com, or just go to soulcounseling.com. It'll get you everywhere you need to go. And we left off, I think, didn't you say everything was my fault or I'm the problem or something?
No, you're projecting.
I don't know. I'm just reading it here in big, bold letters. Perhaps I misunderstood. Okay, forgiving mommy and daddy. I love that.
I wanted to mention.
So important.
I wanted to mention we're doing a ayahuasca retreat in Ecuador, October 17th through 25th. 4 ceremonies, 8 nights, 9 days. We're on the beach, and I will be doing that one personally. The ones in Peru happen every month, but Jill and Casey are my partners down there that I've hooked up with, and if you want to go to Peru and do it in the jungle, you can do it. But some people don't really need the jungle experience, and ayahuasca has told us as well she wants to broaden her scope outside of some traditionalism, and traditionalists will always yell at that, but take it up with ayahuasca. That's fine. Go talk to her about it. But anyway, so October, and then our teleclasses, I try to offer every range of budgets for people. We have a $10. Everyone's telling me I should charge $20. But $10 for attending a Sunday's teleclass. Basically, you just call in and listen. And what we do is we tap into who attends. Lately, we've been getting somewhere between 7 and 12 people. But I have a feeling this is going to grow at some point. So if you want to catch it a little early and a little bit more private, you can bring your question. And what happens is we just tap into spirit and what's appropriate for each of us. So it's sort of a customized class for an hour and a half on Sundays, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. 6 p.m. every week, every Sunday, 11 a.m. when I have time. And the Course of Awakening, that's the Course of Awakening Seminar.com. Just go to courseofawakening.com, click on the teleclasses, you'll find it. So this is what we're trying to do here is to get past this repeated pattern of battles, divided and conquered planets and souls. So again, the Mars story, it happened there. They traveled through the stargates into Atlantis about 100. They created the mess in Mesopotamia with the Semitic races. Oh my God, Tobias said the Semitism word. That's you can't say that. And so that mess over there with the Hebrews, the Jews, the Israelites, the then Christians, and then the Muslims, that is really, yes, it's true that the Garden of Eden, the Sumerian, the tablets, all that stuff over there. And Adam's calendar, it looks like, in Africa was part of the Anunnaki too. That is just a partial story of the earth. It is not the whole story for the whole planet. The Incas have nothing to do with it. The Japanese culture have nothing to do with it. The Aborigines in Australia have nothing to do with the Mesopotamian history of the world. Now, it was affected by the flood of Atlantis that is written about as the flood. And we were playing with, originally, there were no boundaries or borders or limitations on sexuality as spirits took on human forms and other forms, animal forms on Earth. And there was a time in Lemurian times and Atlantean times when some of these mixtures were still there, meaning chimeras of human and animal forms. The satyrs, mermen, mermaids, eaglemen, so forth. These different forms were true. They were such powerful beings that some of them remained gods in the Roman and Greek cultures, because the Greek culture is a mimic of the Atlantean culture. So Chiron, for instance, is a satyr who is incredibly wise and the ultimate astrologer.
Yeah.
So, but there was a time then when Source God did step in because we sank into getting lost and trapped very deeply into the physical. And so there was a stepping in. There's been several points when the Source God, there's been intervention. You let the experiment run, see how everything goes. Like, for instance, if right now we all decided to do World War III with nuclear bombs, there would be a stepping in of the management of this planet that would say, kids, we're not going to do that. I'm not suggesting we try it just so we can talk to God, although there's a whole bunch of neoconservative nut jobs, my editorializing, that's just strictly my opinion, I think they can bring Jesus back to the planet if they start World War III Armageddon over there in Israel and Syria and so forth, and with Iran. It's not going to be allowed to happen. There's going to be some limited conflicts. But so even then, the Egyptian pictures on the walls of the jackal-headed god, Thoth himself, the ultimate teacher, mathematician in the Egyptian tradition, is pictured with the head of an ibis. These were real beings. And when I do past life readings with people, and it happened, it was my own healing as well, I saw my lifetimes on Atlantis, and one of them was as I could shapeshift and morph, still had the ability to do that, I would literally have a head of an eagle and, I could fly. And then I would shapeshift into a human form. It still goes on. Navajo land, Hopi land, just up here to my right, there's still skinwalkers. These are real phenomena. And so whether we're messing with it, trans-humanism in the shamanic sense, or an artificial genome cracking, putting the genetics in there a la genetically modified humans, it is still messing with a natural plant, unless you are in the flow of Source. See, there are master geneticists that work on behalf of Source, but it gets very tricky here. There are beings whose job, I call them the divine doctors, that literally created the blueprint for the human body. Just like there's good psychics and bad psychics, good shamans and bad shamans, accurate past life regressionists and charlatans. It's the same with this. There were some beings that defected and said, well, let's create our own kind of synthetic life forms. And so this game of getting a hold of master DNA creators, master DNA gods that can design species. And Earth is an amalgam of the feline species. There's therefore Sekhmet. If you look up Sekhmet in the Egyptian pantheon, the lioness goddess. Maybe the Sphinx actually didn't have that little tiny looking head on it originally, but maybe there was actually a lion or a lioness on that Sphinx, which is what it feels like to me. And actually, the Sphinx, by the way, is about 100,000 years old, much older even than the pyramids. Therefore, the water erosion on there, all this is going to come to light, all of this is going to come out. Then there were reptilian beings that were created. We're all reptilians. Before you start judging, don't be racist, don't be hating, okay? Now, you can stampede the herd by going, reptilians dangerous. Yes, are humans good or bad? Both. Exactly. Are reptilians good or bad? Both. So just because there's different forms, this will be used very deeply to scare, divide, and conquer, set one against the other, and have, massive galactic wars. But there were some of the original manifestations of the Luciferian rebellion were reptilian forms. And therefore, someone like Jesus will call it the old dragon. the old dragon, because he's tapping in galactically and collectively and cosmically into the ancient game in this galaxy. But it doesn't mean that all reptilians are bad. Not at all. Not at all. You are reptilian. The first part of your brain that develops is reptilian. So just because someone says they're reptilian, if it's creating fear in you, they're using it to create fear. But this has to come out at this point. We have to start getting real with who we are galactically. Now, some of those beings decided to create artificial cybernetic beings. It's like Star Wars. It's like, what are the stormtroopers? What are those things? Are they alive, or are they just robots, or are they kind of half in between? Well, this is a real fact that goes on in our galaxy. So we are replaying that exact scenario. Earth is a mixture of all these scenarios. We're mixing all the different types of animals, the mammal, bird, the lions, the humans, the cetaceans, the dolphins. We are really a massive melting pot of these different life forms. There are whole planets that are nothing but water where dolphins live, by the way, in the Sirius star system. So they've come here. They're obviously super intelligent, and they hold space and their vibration and their frequency. If you've ever had a dolphin send frequencies at you, you're going to go, my, what was that? You're going to be affected. It's going to go right through you and touch your bones and vibrate your whole being. And so there are many organic timelines mixing on Earth. The humans are going to end up being one of the penultimate, one of the most advanced. We are actually one of the most advanced forms because we are mixing all the forms in us. Now, some old schools of reptilians don't want us to wake up because they want to stay in charge. Yes. So there's all these multiple games going on the planet Earth. But this artificial timeline through technology is a dead end. It is a dead end. The little gray guys have mastered technology. They've mastered even time travel and go into the lower astral, the fourth dimensions. They can pop in and out of. They look like they're super advanced technologically, but they've done it at the expense of their hearts, the expense of feeling, the expense of being able to have love, the expense of even sex. They don't reproduce sexually. They just clone each other in these vats. And it's a billion-year dead-end future. And I was shown this 20 years ago that timeline goes to, and that's why some of them are back here abducting, quote, they don't abduct, they just borrow people for a while. They usually put everybody back. Mm-hmm. But it's actually their own souls through soul permission on a soul level. 98% of those things are soul permissions. Anytime you stop giving permission, the stuff has to stop. Now, if you're not aware of your soul, not in touch with your soul agreements, then it will seem like it's happening against your will. Now, you can rail at me and be angry about that if you want. But this transhumanism is we're going to set up a better heaven. The problem is Lucifer, or this ego part of ourselves, same thing, can't do it without someone opening space for him. In order to have a creation, you need space. In order to build a house, you need a lot first. You need the land first, right? So as Christie just read from Lao Tzu, what was the first line? The ancient mother of all things. Yes. So the mother, Lucifer, or the false, synthetic timelines, the ego-based, still needs the matrix, the matrix, to open space for him. So the way he does it is he enslaves the feminine. Shame, guilt, you're fat, you're ugly, stupid, no one else will ever want you. You better stay with me. Mm-hmm. And you better lay down and let me have my little spawn through you. You're just a breeder. Mm-hmm. This is Lucifer's approach. And the feminine, she's not completely blameless either. She was so angry, if you will, or felt so abandoned by father, the other part of her mate, that she was willing to take it however she does. Picture a woman who is so shamed and so broken that she becomes a prostitute and needs a pimp. Oh. Right? It's father can be militaristic, hardcore, beating you, but it's still the father energy. That's the pimp, beating you up, pimping you out. Or it can be a father energy that actually cares for you. So the mother is not blameless here. She chose to go to bed with a synthetic ego as well.
Yeah.
So there's no blame. It's all Father's fault. You didn't love me, so I had to go sleep with Lucifer. No, that doesn't cut it, okay? But it's not Mommy's all fault either, because it was the insensitive father, insensitive daddy, who said, picture an admiral in the Navy who's never home, lets Mommy raise the kids, he's never there, he's also always working. Is she going to let herself get, I was going to use the F word there. Is she going to let herself have, quote, an affair while he's gone? Yeah, she probably will.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
News and information you can trust. This is American Freedom Radio. Freedom, American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
And thanks for joining us here tonight with Tobias Lars here on Soul Journeys Radio.com. And Tobias, we left off. You were about to share with us this new porno you've been watching called Affairs with Lucifer.
See, when you start talking like this, we have to get real about this, and Christy and I are having some fun with it, But the reality is, we can't blame just God or Lucifer or that part of us that is the healed soul, or the part of us that is the fallen ego, the selfish, fearful, separated ego, Lucifer, or the father part of us that is the creating and designing and this and that, and the mother part of us that holds space and nurtures and just holds the space, We can't blame any one of those parts, because it's really like we're fighting inside ourselves. We're fighting ourselves. But so if someone says it's all daddy's fault, it's all the male's fault, that horrible, and I was using the example, feel it this way. See, it's as above, so below. We're reflected. What below reflects above, and what's within reflects what's outside. See, they work together. You can start on either end, by the way. You can start changing the outside by working out really hard in the gym, and it will affect how you feel on the inside. But you got to get to the root of it, and the root of it is soul essence, spirituality, soul, thoughts, consciousness. That is, everything springs from consciousness. Not even light is more. Light came after consciousness. What was before light? Light, in the beginning there was what? Light. What was before light? The thought in the heart. Hopefully, I want the heart and the body and the mind of Source God. So when I'm saying here, we can't just blame Lucifer, blame our egos. We can't just blame Daddy. We can't blame just Mommy. But everyone had a role. Of course, Mommy had affairs with Lucifer. Of course, when her admiral husband being off there being admired by his troops, right? Her admiral husband off there in the Navy ship in the South Pacific, keeping things safe. And there's a deep need to be loved in all of us, but especially in the feminine, it's a little more on the surface in one way. So you can't say this without people saying, oh, well, men do it too. Okay. Of course, when she's at home, during wartime, by the way, one of the things that's told very little is that sex is like crazy during wartime.
I bet.
And all the camps and affairs and this and that and people with everybody and, unbelievable amounts. Why? Because
war is good.
Go back to the clone Clooney doll.
Just upside to everything, huh?
The clone Clooney. The clone Clooney is coming soon. Don't worry. Arriving tomorrow. Triple Federal Express. Clooney. With its own vibrating cucumber. You'll be fine. Just relax.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah. So, of course, while her husband, the Admiral, was off getting admired for his ego, of course she had some affairs with a neighborhood young man. And we have to forgive and allow and understand and start to not hold it against each other. The Luciferian ego can only survive us when we're in the blame game. That's why every teacher will talk about forgive or set right or let go and let God. You know? Every teacher talks about releasing, letting go, forgiving. Why? Because they know if we can get those parts to not fight each other, then the natural heaven, the natural organic timeline on Earth will start unfolding itself. Do you ever notice that you don't need to yell at the grass for it to grow?
Yeah, exactly. Flower, open now!
Yeah, so there... Exactly. That'll scare the flower. Like, what? No, I'm scared. So if you let things, allow things to unfold, it's beautiful the way it is. So that all this work, Lucifer has to, the ego has to really work. This whole thing about in sweat and toil, work, the programming, work hard. It seems suspiciously just like a bunch of needing to stay busy so that we don't actually have time to look at ourselves or inside ourselves and to find that which is naturally given to us automatically. Do you, when you sleep, aren't you naturally regenerating your body without any effort on your own? Of course you are. Well, that's exactly how it all works. So the natural timeline, the natural organic beauty that mommy and daddy actually had for us in mind, in their intention, the source field, if you want to call it that, is there waiting for us. And I, in my life, 20 years ago, I said, that's it. I'm not going to do it the sweat and toil way anymore. And I don't. And I've survived.
Yes.
Source has given me, I own 3 houses. I had some nice cars and some guitars. My point is, even stuff like that gets totally taken care of for you. And we need very little. We actually need very little.
Yeah.
A lot of you are noticing you're needing to eat less. You actually need very little. You can grow all your food on... We're just planting more seeds today. We were planting seeds yesterday for the second batch of garden stuff. And it's like we have too much. We had all those apricots, and I have so much apricot stuff right now that we harvested. And then we'll have the plums. I'll dry them and make some jam out of it. And then, sunflowers are coming ripe right now. So it's just an abundance of being taken care of in the natural timeline. The fallen ego, Luciferian synthetic timeline, notice your car is synthetic. It needs repairs.
Yes.
Your body repairs itself. Your car needs synthetic repairs. So this whole thing is a struggle with a Luciferian rebellion. It needs to imprison and steal. It needs to control and shame. It needs to enslave the mother or the mother races, to work for it, to keep it going. The plantations of the South needed to enslave some of the will energy, I'm quoting from the Right Use of Will books there, the will energy that was represented by the Rona Locas, which are the black races on this planet. So they enslaved that mother energy to feed them, or they couldn't survive.
And the North enslaved them all.
And the North enslaved them all, and then the Fed enslaves everybody, and then the Illuminati enslave everybody, and then the Archons enslave all of them, and then you have the Luciferian overlords in the quadrant. Yeah, absolutely. But the point is, we can choose. If you fall for this transhumanism, if you say better living through genetics, through fake implants, through heart bypass, I don't want to feel my heart, so I just want an artificial heart. I just want to steal organs from other people. I want to harvest organs and steal them from other people. This is because those souls know they are terrified of going back to having to make up with Source. So they don't want to die, because each time they die, they have to look at themselves. You get your life review when you die. So what they do is they instantly reincarnate. Those souls pretty much hang out in the lower astral hells, where they control other souls. They can't advance up into the fifth dimension. If you are a controller soul, or Luciferian rebellion soul, you can't advance up. Well, that's not true. You can go into the fifth and sixth dimensions, but you can't go all the way back home to Source. And so this is allowed because we have free will. But if you go down that path, you will be in an enslaved system. You will be in a stressed workaholic system. This is why that programming tries to scare us. Nature dangerous, survival dangerous, survival of the fittest, struggle. You ever notice on all those programs about animals? And it's very dangerous at night. The hyenas will come and eat your babies. It's this fear porn, fear-mongering all the time. That's the Luciferian. You got to scare the population so they come to you. It's no different than the mafia. The mafia comes in and says, hey, look, there's some bad guys in this neighborhood. Never mind that the bad guys are actually us, but you better, if you pay us some money, we'll keep the bad guys away. That's the whole in sweat and toil. So if you give in to that timeline, if you give up on your son and daughtership with the direct source of all that is, you can go directly to the source. Every teacher has said that. Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, go directly to the source. Now, they had to say father or mother or whatever was the cultural conditioning at the time. But obviously, it's beyond father, mother. There's a transcendental sovereign source that created mother and father, the idea of female and male. You, as a child of that, have the right to go directly there. You want to save the planet? Go directly to that and tell them what you want. Tell them what you want.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also, check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.